Welcome to the class, students. Today let us start with the lesson climate and adaptation. So here we will discuss about the climate of a place, the weather, and how the different organisms adjust themselves with their surroundings. So do you know what is weather? Weather tells us about the changes that takes place in the atmosphere at a given place and time. So these are the changes, that take place in the atmosphere at a particular time and at a given place. When we talk about weather, we have to talk about the particular place and at what time. We have to mention the time and the place also. We will think about the time and also the place, then we can tell that the weather is like that. So these are the changes that will take place in the atmosphere. We always see the weather forecast in the television and the newspapers. So what type of words are mentioned there? Hot, humid, cold, rainy, cloudy. This type of terms are often used when weather forecast is given. But this is for a short span of time. Weather can change within hours. Within few hours only weather can change. When we wake up in the morning, you can see there is a lot of rainfall. But in the evening, we can see that it has become a lot of hot or humid in nature. And then we can see a bright sunny morning, and it will end up with a heavy rainfall in the afternoon. So this way it goes on changing. Weather goes on changing within a very short span of time. And this changes in the atmosphere at a time, at a place is called what? Weather. What is the weather now? At this moment, in this place, you can say it's hot and humid. Very, very hot and humid. So this is the weather, but it can change within a few hours. And a heavy rainfall can always be there after a bright sunny day. Okay, so this is for a short span of time. We can tell that this is the weather. Okay, now we will discuss about weather and climate. Students, just now I told about weather. That is the state of atmospheric condition. Okay, what is the temperature, what is the humidity, whether there is rainfall, whether snowfall is there or wind is there. Then that is the weather of that place at that time. And what are the weather elements? These are this temperature, humidity, cloud cover, snow, rainfall, wind. These are what? The weather elements. Okay, and this characteristic pattern of the elements in a place over a period of time is called what? Climate of that place. Okay, so what is the characteristic pattern of this, like temperature, how it is in nature at that place particularly for a period of time. Then general, what is the temperature of Mangalday, what is the humidity, if there is any cloud cover. This pattern of elements over a period of time, okay, not a given time but a period of time. See the difference. There should be a period of time for finding out the climate of that place. Okay, so this elements of the weather, this pattern of elements over a period of time, that is called what? The climate of a place, which is described as a long term definition. Okay, so this is climate, and weather is for short time period. Okay, and what do you mean by weather forecast? This is the prediction of weather condition. The prediction of weather condition for a place over a short period of time. What time? Weather forecast is for short period, not climate. This is weather forecast. Weather forecast is for short time period. For the next few days, what will be the weather forecast? Whether there will be rainfall or not, you can easily see from the different sites which shows the weather forecast. For Mangalday also you can find out the weather forecast by seeing in Google. Okay, so these are the prediction of the weather condition for a short period of time. Say suppose 10 days or 15 days. For few days it can go like this, but the climate prevails for a very long time. generally what is the climate of Mangalday? That is for the general nature of Mangalday that stays for a long time. This is called the climate. The difference is the time period. Okay, this is short weather and climate is for a long time period. So for finding out the temperature, what we need a maximum and minimum thermometer. So this special thermometer, which is called maximum and minimum thermometer, is used to measure the maximum and minimum temperature of the place in a day. Then relative humidity is measured by the help of the instrument hygrometer. Amount of rainfall is measured by the use of the instrument rain gauge. Okay, so these instruments are necessary for measuring the temperature, humidity and rainfall. So the climate of a place means what is actually the nature of that area where we live. Like in Mangalday, if you are living, we will talk about the climate which generally prevails in Mangalday. Okay, so in Mangalday it is hot and humid in the month of August and September. So we can say that in Mangalday the climate is hot and humid in August and September. And in Rajasthan we can say that it is hot and dry in the month of September. And it's cold in Ladakh. So we will talk about the climate when we talk about the place for a longer period of time. Now we will talk about the factors that affect the climate on Earth. So we can see that factors that affect the climate, that means how and what are the things that affect the climate of a place on Earth. So totally we will discuss about this Earth now. Earth's climate is dependent on what distance from the sun. Okay, these are the factors. Because climate of the Earth has not remained the same through the ages. It has been very, very cold during the ice ages, and where the Earth was fully covered with ice. So these factors like distance from the sun changes the weather of the particular planet. Okay, the planet closest to the sun is hotter. Generally the planet closest to the sun is hotter, and which is the farthest is the coldest one, as you all know. So the temperature of the surface of the Earth is controlled by what? By the distance from the sun. So distance of the Earth from the sun plays a major role in determining what? The temperature of a particular place. But you can see that Venus is farther away from the sun than Mercury, but it is hotter than Mercury. This is because of what? Because Venus has a thick atmosphere of carbon dioxide. This makes Venus very hot. Here you can see that distance is not the matter, is not the factor of making Venus very hot. Because of the layer of carbon dioxide, Venus is getting very, very hot. But which is the closest? Mercury is closest to the sun. But which is more hotter? Venus is more hotter than Mercury because of the layer of carbon dioxide that is present in Venus. So Earth's temperature also depends on the sun. So when it is hotter, that means we can say that sun rays are falling on the Earth, and the distance of the sun from the Earth controls its temperature. Next is the Earth's tilt. As you all know, the Earth rotates about its axis. Do you know this? Yes. And this axis is what? Imaginary line which joins North Pole and South Pole. So if this is Earth, this has become, and the axis will be the line that will join North Pole and South Pole. If this is North Pole and this is South Pole, then imaginary line that will join North Pole and South Pole is the axis. This is an imaginary line. Okay, so you can see that it is not a straight line, but it is slightly inclined. Slightly there is an angle of this axis. This is called angle of inclination. The earth is tilted in a direction, and this is called the angle of inclination, which is 23.5 degree. Okay, the angle that the earth's axis of rotation makes with the direction perpendicular to the plane of the earth's orbit with this is called angle of inclination, which is 23.5 degree. So this tilt of the earth and the revolution of the earth around the sun causes what? Seasons. I hope you all know this in your social science. So tilt plus revolution causes what? Seasons. Okay, and also the rotation causes sunrise and what? Sunset. As you all know, the rotation of the earth causes what? Sunrise and sunset. So from 21st March to 23rd September, the northern hemisphere is closest to the sun. The northern hemisphere, which one is the northern hemisphere? If you can divide the earth into two hemispheres, this is the northern one, this is the southern hemisphere. Okay, so the northern hemisphere is what? The northern hemisphere is closer to the sun from 21st March to 23rd September. So it is hotter in the northern hemisphere than the southern hemisphere during those time, that is 21st March to 23rd September. And southern hemisphere is at that time farther away from the sun. So in the next half, what will happen? The northern hemisphere will be colder than the southern hemisphere. Why? Because that will become then closer to the sun. Okay. The shortest day of the earth is 22nd December and the longest day will be the 22nd June, probably. Okay. Because during this day, the day becomes longer because sun, the distance that is maintained by the earth and the sun, this is the 22nd June, where we can see the longest day, and the shortest day, the 22nd of December. So the length of the day is given by what? The difference between the sunrise and sunset. When you try to find out the difference between the sunrise and sunset, then you will get what? The length of the day. So from this calculation, we have got what? That 22nd December is the shortest day and longest day is 22nd June. And it will not remain same throughout the year because of the earth's surface that is lit by the sun. As the earth is tilted, sun rays will fall in different directions on the earth, and as it is tilted, the length of the day varies in the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. So we are talking about shortest day and longest day in the northern hemisphere. So longest day is 22nd June. Just now I told that during the time period of 21st March to 23rd of September, this will be the place when the northern hemisphere will face the hotter climate. So sunrise and sunset will determine, the difference of this will determine what? The length of the day. Now we will talk about the climate of a place. Okay. So the climate of a place depends on many factors, like distance from the equator, height above the sea level, and also of course the mountains, distance from the sea and the mountains. Okay, these all features will control the climate of a place. Now first of all we will talk about distance from the equator. Okay, so the places that will be closer to the equator will be warmer, and the places that are far away from the equator will be colder towards the poles, and the poles also is very, very cold there. Why? Because sun's rays falls directly on the equator, and when it goes towards the poles, it will fall at an angle because the earth is tilted. So poles, North Pole and South Poles are colder, and the equatorial region is warmer because the sun rays falls directly. Okay. Now let us discuss about height above the sea level. As we go high up in the mountains, we have what? A cooler climate than the plains. The higher the place, the cooler it is, right? So during the summer vacations, people go where? People go to the mountainous regions because there it is cooler than the plains. The sea also has effect on the climate. Okay, when we are nearer to the sea, the places nearer to the sea always have a moderate climate. Like Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, they are neither too hot nor too cold. And the places far away from the sea, they have the extreme temperatures. Like Delhi, very hot summer and very cold winter. Okay. The mountains will also affect the climate of a place. Okay. So how they will? They can change and stop the winds. They can change the direction of the wind. They can stop the winds from blowing, and they can influence the rainfall also. As you all know, the mountains acts as what? A barrier, a boundary, a protection wall to change or stop the winds and to cause rainfall also. The weather of a place is described by its temperature and what? Humidity, as you all know. So, the temperature of any day will depend on what? It depend on the amount of sunlight that the place is getting. Okay, during the day how much sunlight it is getting, so that will be the main factor for telling the temperature of that place. So, generally it is cooler in the nights, and in the daytime it's hotter because of the sun rays. Because due to the sun rays, the earth is heated up, and this will increase the temperature. And in the urban areas, that means in the town areas, it is far more hotter than the rural areas. In the villages, villages are colder than the town areas in the cities because of pollution, population, deforestation. The heat goes on increasing in the cities and towns. But in the villages, we can get unpolluted air with less population and more plants, which will reduce the heat throughout the day. So, urban areas are much hotter. Urban means the town and city areas are much hotter than the rural areas. Rural means village areas. So, if you plant more and more trees, the temperature of the place can reduce a lot. Another important factor that helps us to find out the weather of a place is the humidity. So what is humidity? This is the water vapor that is present in the atmosphere. The amount of water vapor that is present in the atmosphere is the humidity. So a dry place is having lower humidity. Near the sea coast, the humidity is much more because the moisture of that air will be much more. So humidity is more. Water vapor will be more means humidity is more, because humidity is what? Water vapor. So near the sea coast, you have more and more humidity, like in Mumbai, Chennai, okay, and which are far away from the sea coast, then they are drier places like Delhi, Uttar Pradesh. So humidity is actually higher in the rainy seasons, and it is very less in the winter and the summer seasons. Okay, so today we have discussed about the different factors that controls the climate of a place, climate of the earth as a whole, and also we have discussed about the weather of a place, which is described by temperature and humidity of that place. In the next lecture, we will be discussing about the adaptations in animals for different climates.